for our regular council meeting, February 12, 2015. This time, I'm going to ask Councilmember Denny Manning if he would lead us in our invocation and pledge to the flag. If everyone would please stand.
Let us pray, please. Our Heavenly Father, as we come to you tonight, Lord, we just ask you tonight, watch over each and every one of us tonight, Father. Watch over the families, Lord, who are death and could visit today, Lord. God, touch all that's sick and afflicted, Father. Help us to guide this city, Lord, where you have us to do it. In your way, not our way, but your way, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge the flag, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Jan, we could have the roll call, please.
Mayor Lambert.
Here.
Councilmember Bradley.
Here.
Councilmember Cagle.
Here.
Councilmember Manning.
Here.
Councilmember Sewell.
Here.
City Manager Hyde.
Here.
And City Attorney York.
All right, folks, I trust you've had opportunity to review the consent agenda, containing the minutes of various meetings, as well as the January 2015 financial statement and the declaration of surplus property.
I have
Yes, sir.
a question about the financial statement.
Yes, sir.
The sale of the land, is that the $12,890? Is that Camp Jordan?
That was a piece of parcel right off of Camp Jordan Parkway on the right as you're going in, yes, sir.
All right. And also, I understand that the solid waste is on its own funding. But I see solid waste line here, $43,200 to $8,809. Is that took out of their fund and put back in the general fund?
That money, like the garage and transfer station that we discussed yesterday, that money is expensed out. After the month is closed out, the money's expensed out to that separate fund. We did go to a new fund this year for solid waste to see that it was self-sufficient.
So this money is being paid back out of the solid waste fund?
It is transferred back to solid waste, yes, sir.
That's all I had on that.
I have some questions. This is on the first page under general fund revenues. State law enforcement education, state fire services educational grant, state income tax. All of those say 0%. Is there a reason why?
Because we haven't received anything.
Will we though?
We should. We anticipate that.
Okay.
These are just things that come in. toward
We
the end of
anticipate
this
that,
year.
yeah, towards the end of the fiscal year, between now and June.
Okay. On the next page under mowing, it says 15,750. Ever since the city took over that 15,750 is the budgeted amount. Ever since the city took over the mowing, I'm assuming that's for exit 1.
That's correct.
Okay. I've always heard the figure of $40,000. I heard Frida Wheeler said it, heaven knows how many times in here. That's the figure that I've always heard. I'm just wondering how we went from 40,000 down to 15,750.
Well, I've been talking with myself. It's been costing us $40,000 to do it. We buy lawnmowers, trying to pay for help. That's what it winds up running. But I think we've got, that's on the agenda tonight.
I asked to put it on the agenda. Yeah.
When you look at capital investment, when you obviously, if you vary the frequency with which you maintain that state right of way, that's going to have a huge impact on your operating costs. So if it's maintained adequately, it's going to increase the cost substantially. If we need capital upgrades, it's going to increase that number substantially. So in high years, Would be surprised if I went back to the books and saw that.
Okay. On down the line here, number 34,644, baseball fees, then underneath that gate fees, and further down the list here, tournament, team fees. I'm assuming that those are going to have a big bump whenever, as we get into the baseball season.
These are spring season.
Our season hadn't started yet. That is correct.
Okay. Also, one last, well, not one last thing yet. Could you do a favor? You have this whole page right here. Could you just do away with all this down here at the bottom and just use the whole page for the pie chart?
We'll find a way to do that, not a problem.
Yeah, I mean,
People have-
trying to match up all these smaller boxes, color boxes, there's no way you can do it. And somebody that's got some color blindness, I can't make heads or tails
Fair.
which box goes with which pie charts. On the next page, 33,112, TDOT transportation grant. And then underneath it, the streetscape grant, and then the state tip grant. Those are some huge amounts right there. Do you know where we stand on those?
We've not gotten any feedback yet. The applications went out towards at the end of last calendar year, December, and the beginning of this year. So those were sent off, and we're pending the news. Obviously, we hope it's good news, but we'll advise the council as soon as we hear more about those grants.
Okay. And then, under drug investigation fund, sale of confiscated property, it says 0%. I'm assuming we don't have any drug seizures, or we haven't gotten around to liquidating them yet. And I believe that's all the questions that I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask something about this mowing. Don't we bill them each time we mow it 3-4 times a year?
We mow it more than that. They pay us for about 3. That's typically how they set it up, correct.
Okay.
And we do have to give them a certain amount of documentation that we, and of course, they're right here all the time, and they see that it's been mowed. They do verify that.
So 3,
You have to
I
mow
believe
it,
that's-
you have to mow it at least 10 times, from what I understand. We mow it.
We probably mow it, depending on the weather, but we probably mow it every, 30 times, I would imagine. That's where the cost comes in, to keep it looking like.
Yeah, we used to keep
anything
it like,
above the contract would be gratis on our end.
Correct, and I was gonna talk a little bit about that. I have talked to TDOT, and I guess it's okay to address it now, but about planting wildflowers out there, and they agree with, which would greatly reduce the amount of area that need to be mowed, which might offset some of that, so that's something to discuss with them further. But they are in agreement with us doing something of that nature, to beautify that area.
All right, do we have anything else? We will entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Griffith,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Manning,
Yes.
Councilmember Sewell,
Yes.
Mayor Lambert.
Yes. This time we will entertain communication from citizens. If you are a resident or business owner in the city of East Ridge and you have a comment, question, or concern you'd like to bring to the council, if you would please come forward to one of the 2 microphones here at the front, state your name and address for the record. You will have 5 minutes.
On the 1st of October 2013, I was hit by a car at a stop sign. They're grinding these strips. 16 months after, 16 months after, I'm still trying to get over it, and I've lost a leg, a left leg from above the knee. I came in here earlier this week, and I volunteered to the city manager and the treasurer. I would be willing to help Eastridge in any way possible to get sidewalks, crosswalks, signal lights put in places, do anything in the world to get done. I don't want this happening to anybody again. It's too much. I'm 67 years old. I was hit when I was 66. But this can't go on. Wife and I trailed an 18-wheeler and 4 cars up and down that road and not coming back from the hospital. They were doing 45 miles an hour uphill. We had to catch up to see how fast they were going. Now, the speed limit says 30. I've asked for a light at the top of the hill by the line of Bennett. I've asked for speed bumps, drop the speed limit down. Well, I paid the price. I don't want to see anybody else have to pay this price. It's too much.
Thank you, sir. Janet, did you get his name and address for the record? Okay, I'm sorry.
John McNeil, 2017 Bryan Road.
Thank you, sir. Do we have anyone else? Appears we do not. This time we will turn to communication from council members. Mr. Manning, do you have anything for us?
Not this time.
Mr. Sewell?
Nothing at this time.
Mr. Cable?
I'd just like to congratulate the people that's tore the fire hall down there. They've done a super job.
You
It
bet.
looks good.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
He wants you to say that again, Mr. Cagle. He wants you to hear it again.
That's pretty good.
His phone, we pressed this, sorry, I did not hear it. Sorry, love.
But yes, Mr. Cagle, that's absolutely right. The city staff, kudos to city manager, assistant city manager, and obviously Melvin and all the guys who got out there and worked hard on that project. We met our obligation. It had to be gone by February 12th, by midnight tonight, and it is gone. So, fantastic job, Jim.
They did a good job because we were about 5 days on the delay too.
Right. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Mr. Cable, do you have anything else?
No, sir, that's it.
Mr. Craig?
No, I don't have anything right now, thank you.
Okay. I actually don't have anything at this time either. I was actually going to mention the fire hall, Mr. Cagle got there first, so that's really the only thing I had. And so with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Hyde.
Thank you. And I'm going to echo that as well. Melvin, will you stand up, please? On Tuesday afternoon, or Tuesday night, I called Melvin after a meeting I had here at City Hall. It was about 7:30 or 8 o'clock. And I said, Melvin, we have got to finish. I said, we're there. He got his crew together, he assembled them and got them motivated and got them out on the lot, and they did a tremendous job. We saved a lot of block in case we want to use it later for something else, and we saved some other things. So they had to do a lot of things by hand, but that crew was tremendous. That goes without saying. They met the deadline, they did a great job. Melvin, I appreciate what you did, and I hope everybody else recognizes how hard you work for the city of East Ridge and how long you were. He's been here about, what, 103 years? Almost 40, isn't that what it's, something like?
38.
38, so great job, Melvin. The other thing, we have been looking at alternate areas to put the fire department, and we've been in consultation with a group of people, and trying to set up a meeting now so we can move forward on that as quickly as possible. Secure an architect, start design, start that type of thing that we need to do. We don't want to waste any time and get firemen are climbing all over each other over there, but they are doing a great job. They fought a fire today in cold weather, the wind blowing, and they did a wonderful job. And so, Mike, you guys are commended for what you did, Chief Williams, today, and for working in tight quarters. I realize how tough that is. So we have you in mind, and we do realize what sacrifices y'all are making by being together. And the citizens don't feel like your property is in any danger. These guys will respond just as quick as they would have if they were on that side of the interstate. So we want you to rest assured that our staff, our fire department is on the job, and they're doing a great job. Also, a few things that I'm going to ask Thad to give some updates on some financials, some positive things that have happened in the city of East Ridge, and that I'll let you take some of my time.
Thanks, Mr. Hyatt. Mayor, members of the council, I just wanted to point out several of the items on the financials that were adopted this evening for the month ending January 2015. Delinquent property tax revenues were up. They're at 76% of the year, which was up. At the same time last year, they were at only 41%. Even more encouraging to me, the local sales tax is 56%, where it was at 50% last year. So we are seeing sales increase, and we are seeing that the revenues that we bring in from sales increase. Now that affects us in terms of local sales tax, and it also has an impact on the border region program, which is a really big deal as we try to develop and look at retail development over at Exit 1 and across the cities. That's very exciting. We also see indicators of new development. If you look at building permits and plan review fees, both of those are up considerably over what was budgeted. Building permits are 200%, more than twice what was budgeted. Plan review fees are up 700% from what was budgeted this year. Again, both up considerably from last year. Business licenses, 77% of what was budgeted. So we are seeing an indication of new business activity. More business licenses are being filed this year than last year at the same time. And it's, again, that's what we want to see. That's what we've been trying to accomplish. We're seeing Parks and Recreation, indoor soccer has exceeded 100% of what we budgeted for revenues in indoor soccer, field rentals, and other areas. Municipal court fines are up 70% of what was budgeted. Judges here, so we're seeing a lot of progress there. I think it's also very exciting. I know I hear JR and the officers, so it's certainly a boon to morale. Again, it helps us offset some of the costs. Otherwise, the city is doing very well financially. And I want to thank everybody up here for the job you do, and Mr. Hopkins' support.
Maybe if I could talk about one more thing. We don't talk about economic development a lot up here because we really can't say a lot of things when people come and talk to us. But we do have several. I have discussed, and Dan has talked to several individuals that are interested in bringing new businesses to East Ridge. We're looking at properties. We're trying to decide, how to best present that. We are doing that. We've got 2 that we've talked to today, 2 new ones. Last week there was, I believe, 3 that we talked to. So 2 weeks, that's 5 potential new, and at least 3 of them are extremely viable. We feel like they're going to relocate as soon as they find property in East Ridge. So we've got a lot of opportunity. I know the Life Care Center is going to be, they've got a hearing March 25th in Nashville with a hospital regulatory commission. That's not the right words, but I think you understand what I'm saying, because they're going to tear down the existing structure and build 3 structures on that property. So there's a lot of things going on in East Ridge. And something the mayor and I talked about one day last week was the fact that we need to look at transportation, not getting transportation, but how we're going to handle moving around East Ridge to avoid gridlock down by the interstates. With cars coming off without traffic signals, and things we really have a lot to look into, and that affects economic development as well as this council and the way the city is portrayed physically. to prospective tenants and prospective buyers and builders. So we anticipate closing on the pool property within the next 72 plus hours, 3 to 4 days. We've gotten documents that have come across, they're ready to close. It's a logistical thing, it's a West Coast, East Coast thing, so it's a juggling act, so we're working there. Hopefully we'll have that resolved probably about midweek next week. Property will no longer be ours, and we'll be moving forward with the next adventure. So that's it. Thank you.
Mr. Murphy, on mine,
Yes, sir.
I would, like to say, I really appreciate our attorney for the great job that he's been doing, paperwork and on time on everything. I really appreciate all the great things he's done for our city.
Well, we have a lot to be proud of and a lot to look forward to. We're in a good position, and as the old saying goes, you need to make hay while the sun shines. So, thank you very much, Mr. Hyden. I believe that's all that we have from council and staff. So we will move into old business, and item A, ordinance number 984.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to amend ordinance number 971, entitled, an ordinance to provide revenue for the City of East Ridge, Tennessee for the fiscal year July 1st, 2014 to June 30th, 2015, appropriating the same to the payment of expenses of the municipal government by changing revenues of the general fund, grant fund, and capital improvement fund, and designating a portion of the fund balance of the State Street Aid Fund, Federal Forfeiture Fund, and Solid Waste Fund, and changing the expenditures to the General Fund, State Street Aid Fund, Grant Fund, Federal Forfeiture Fund, Solid Waste Fund, and Capital Improvement Fund, here on second and final reading.
That was a long section. Yes. I can remember years and years ago, sitting out there toward the back and hearing Judge Helton, when he was city attorney, have to read the entire ordinance. And I remember one night, it literally took about 40 minutes to read one ordinance because it was 25 pages long. So we're grateful we don't have to do that anymore.
Yes, we are.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any comments? Yes, sir.
Sure do. Talked to Thad about some of these already, and I've got some answers on them. But I've noticed that there's several line items been changed from the one we voted on the last council meeting to this council meeting. And I noticed they took out the $350,000, $3,005,000 bond money. And then in the sale of land, I found out what the $12,000 was on the other thing. And then, here, okay, on the grant fund, the last time we voted on it, the grant fund revenue was at 992,516. This time he's got that listed under expenditures. Was it expenditures or revenue?
It's the expenditure, sir.
Okay, so the revenue is the 1,012,000.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. One more.
Okay.
The relocation, construction of fire hall, I know we put the 1.2 million in.
That is correct, sir.
Okay, so that is the most we're going to spend on the fire hall.
That's a budget estimate. That's an estimate.
Okay, so this 25,000 we just spent will be coming out of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
One thing Mayor, if I may, one thing I might add on the first page under total budget amendment expenditure, general government, the amendment's $36,000. That's the fee that we are paying the broker. Our sale price of the land is $600,000. After closing costs, we will receive a check or a transfer for $597,227. So that $36,000 will be coming out of that essentially. So, I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, that's a change from what was in the packet that everyone received. We want to make sure.
We added that because that just came in about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
So this brokerage charges 6%.
Do we have any other comments or questions? Jamie, roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Griffin.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Manning.
Yes.
Councilmember Sewell.
Yes.
Mayor Lambert.
Yes. The ordinance is approved. Moving on to new business. Item A, resolution number 2458.
Resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development for Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $525,000 to provide sewer system improvements.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Mr. Jablonski?
I have a question.
Sure.
We no longer own the sewer system here in East Ridge, WWTA does. So what do we need this grant?
Yeah, that's a good question, Vice Mayor Gravitt. And to answer, the city is a conduit in applying for CDBG funds for sewer improvements. WWTA is a water wastewater authority. They're ineligible to apply for those funds. So in applying for the $500,000 plus in funds, we're able to get those monies, essentially paid for work by WWTA, which they'll pair up another $300,000+ in trying to do the work at Exit 1 that we need in order to add capacity so that we can add businesses other than, at this point in time, Bass Pro Shop. We have enough capacity to meet the needs of Bass Pro Shop. We need more capacity. This would accomplish that without encumbering or spending any city dollars. So essentially the CBDG money would flow through us to WWTA. They would also throw some money in the pot and make those improvements that we need now.
So we're gonna turn over $500,000 to WWTA.
If this is adopted and we get the grant, yes, sir.
It's actually federal dollars. It would just be flow through dollars. Their match, their part is $356,350. And the only way to get this is for us to step up and be the applicant.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
for local governments only.
So if we, is the city gonna be responsible for putting in the sewer system at Exit 1 project, Bass Pro? Is the city gonna be responsible financially? Since we don't no longer own the sewers.
There's no responsibility there, no, sir.
Okay, so who are we doing this to help out? WWTA or the developer?
Well, we're doing it to help East Ridge because we've been told by WWTA that there's no more sewer capacity in that area. And so basically once Bass Pro goes in, new development, brand new development kind of stops. And so we have to add sewer capacity in order to.
We're in
In that location, in that specific location?
In that
That side of the interstate,
quadrant.
Area 10 is what they call it.
Yes.
Okay.
the basin 10. It's the flood zone. It's the floodway over there.
But didn't they lift that moratorium as part of our lawsuit settlement with them? Yes, I remember they did. I mean, I was in the room when we negotiated that, and that's what I understand.
Right, they said they would lift the moratorium as quickly as possible. I don't know, it's not I don't think it's a matter of, okay, you are here and you have a moratorium on you, we can pull the moratorium and you can just go up. There's a set capacity for the sewer system, and
They have an annual operating budget and a multi-year capital budget like the city. Even though they operate a little differently, but they do have those budgets, and we're not a part, that project is not a part of that budget. And if we want development on that side of the interstate, then we need to insert ourselves. This would accomplish that today.
All right. Yes, no.
The way I understand it, there are two other projects going in down there, because the council voted on a condo project going in there.
That's on problem.
So that's the same district.
There is, yes, I think there may be some existing sewer over in that area. But some of this area, I guess Basin 10 is, they've called it.
I think some of that
does not
cost
have-
will come probably through the developer on those projects. I think he has to put in some pump stations and such that he'll have to pay for.
So essentially, it's a tangled web of all sorts of different things that,
Just like the interstate improvements we have sewer infrastructure that we're going to need to work on. And I'm working with an engineer that just left WWTA and works for an engineering firm, and he's helping to plug me into that right now. And we're going to try to work with a representative and do some things in long range planning.
so never ending process. All right, any other comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Griffin,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Manning,
Yes.
Councilmember Stoll.
Yes.
Yes. Resolution is approved. Item B, resolution number 2459.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, approving bids for the purchase and installation of fencing at the Camp Jordan Amphitheater.
I will make a motion. Yes, discussion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the sake of discussion. Mr. Parker.
Lot to talk about here. We had bid this out and received, if I'm correct, 7 bids, ranging from the price, and you never understand, I don't understand how something could fluctuate this much, from $18,500 to over $33,000. We had people bid on this as far away as Dublin, Georgia, and that's a pretty good haul from here. But when we finished up, basically, our low bid, city manager, can you help me with that? The
Low bid was $18,562.50. We have gone out and also had prior to that, I'd asked staff to get some quotes on the materials and and for our staff to put it up, park staff along with city services staff, and we got quotes $11,359, $16,606, and $18,671. I believe, and I've talked to Melvin about this, that our staff for the $11,359 could put the fence up, and they've had good practice over here with the impound lot, and they did a great job there, and we just felt like that we could save that money and just do it ourselves. And that's what I would recommend, and we feel like that would be the best direction at this point.
Let's get another 359.
$11,359.43.
And the only other cost we should have on that would be the price of concrete.
Do we have an auger to dig the holes with?
Yes, sir, we do. The other price that we got today after talking to the owner of Capital is basically the same thing as 11,000, but well, he went to bigger poles because he said that with, lawnmowers and things like that, your poles tear up a little bit more, so.
I
But
don't see that 11,000 bid in here.
It's not a bid, it's
It's
a
not.
quote. We got quotes on just material only. It was an email I got this afternoon.
Okay.
We can't, Vice Mayor Gray, we cannot go with the $18,000 bid.
Well, are these bids for materials? I'm assuming that, they are all the same product, the same size, the same diameter for the poles, the same gauge. I'm assuming that all of the specs are exactly the same. Or are they not?
No, sir, they're three different specs. The 11,000 is it's one size of poles. The 16,000 is going to a heavier duty pole. The 18,000 that we have here, the difference in that is because that we got a price on 6 foot. So we got 2 5-foot fences, one 11 something, one 16 something, and then we've got the 18, which we're not going to do anyway on the 6 foot.
Okay, why didn't we just set the specs ourselves and rather than letting them quote their own specs?
We
why
did
didn't
that.
set-
We did that with the bid. We sent out our bids and had 7 people bid on it. This is an option, Vice Mayor Gravitt. This is our guys putting it up. Everything
That's
else.
what I just asked though.
Right,
Were
we got,
all the bids the same?
Yes,
Were
sir.
the same
Yes, sir.
specs?
Yes, sir.
And you said no, they weren't, so.
No, these are not the same. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about these 3 that we have here.
Okay.
3 quotes are different because of the different size of the poles. But everything, the other 7 bids, yes, sir, everything was exactly the same.
The specs that you received today on materials, do we have to rebid that just for the materials? Since it's over $10,000?
This is the only place we can buy this stuff in the Chattanooga area.
That wasn't my question. For legal purposes, don't we have to rebid that?
since it's coming out over $10,000, yes, it is a sole source in the area, so we probably could qualify it under our purchasing rules, but it would be safe to put it out there for bid to see if we got it, absolutely.
Is this the
And
same?
that's a great recommendation. I think that's where we need to go and just bid for the materials themselves.
Yeah.
Is this the same people we've done business with on every fence that we built here? The one we just completed?
I believe so.
Yes, sir. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but it exceeds
Correct.
that $10,000.
Right, no, I understand that. I understand that.
So,
That's
okay.
fine. We'll put it out for
So are we gonna table this then?
Just, yes,
Does it require-
well, I think you need to reject these so we can move on and then authorize us to put it out for bid for just materials only.
Okay.
Al, is that correct? Yes.
We do have a motion and a second on the floor.
Reject.
May I ask one more question? About approximately how many hours are you talking about putting this fence up?
I think if you're talking about a professional staff, you're talking about well, that's what I'm gonna give you an example, about a 4-day deal. Melvin, help me out with this, but I think it's a 6 to 7 day. Now, I don't think it's twice as long, but where I think that the professional crew will do it in 4 hours, and I say professional, our guys are pretty doggone good.
4 days.
4 days, yes.
All right, what is the hourly rate of the number of men that will be used to do it?
It averages around $15 per man.
$15? So we're looking at.
Because I've already figured that before.
So we're looking at 32 hours, times $15 for labor.
Yes, sir.
Times how many?
Times how many every man's working on. I think, Melvin, you plan on using 3 men?
3-man crew.
3-man crew.
Oh, each man is 15?
Each man be 50, it'd be $45 an hour.
Okay.
And
That'd be times
estimated,
32.
yeah, times 32.
Okay.
Yes.
So you already got a figure there?
No, not with me here, but I have already figured that out. And then you have about $1,000 in concrete.
$1,000 in concrete?
Yes, sir.
We need to add $2,400 to that level 3.
Yes, sir, if we choose to go with that, so that'd be
Yes,
yes, sir.
under the 18.
Right, and we're already paying those guys anyhow to do a product, something somewhere, so it's already
Yes, sir.
budgeted doc item, it wouldn't be additional dollars.
Trying to figure the labor.
Yes.
burden,
Mayor, I'm going to withdraw my motion. We've
withdraw my second then.
We'll make a motion to reject the bids that's been offered.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and second to reject the bids. Any other comments or questions?
One comment I've got on it, we're getting close to season, so we need to get done what we can to get it fixed up.
Right.
But we're not in a situation right now to put the fence up today because we do have some more smoothing dirt on the side towards the soccer fields that we need to do for the play park. So by the time this all comes through, hopefully it'll stay as dry as it's supposed to, and we can get that done.
All right, excellent. Janet, roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Griffin.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Manning.
Yes.
Councilmember Stoll.
Yes.
Mayor Lambert.
Yes. So we do. So the bids have been rejected. We do need a motion and a second to rebid just the materials.
I'll make the motion to rebid fence, post, concrete, whatever we need to start with.
And wire too.
All necessary materials?
I'll second.
So a motion and a second to rebid for all the materials needed for the fencing.
Can I make an addition to that?
Yes, sir.
An addendum, all the same specs.
As we have here on the $11,000 bid. Yes, that's no problem.
Would you guys mind clarifying your motion to include that?
Right, that's fine with me.
Okay. Good deal. So we have a motion and a second to rebid for the materials needed to build the fencing, and those materials would be the same specs as what we had seen earlier. Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Griffin.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Manning.
Yes.
Councilmember Stoll.
Yes.
Mayor Lambert.
Yes. Item C, approval of sponsorship for Scenic City Folks Bugapalooza for the use of Camp Jordan in April 2015.
My recommendation, and we've done this in the past, we do it again, as I said in an earlier meeting this year, we'll receive $2,000 from the Boats folks from this event and $2,000 from their event that they have in the fall. Basically, that $2,000 is for camping. Most of the time, it's not in our RV lot. Most of the time, it's a tent out in the woods or over in the grass somewhere. So it's not like it's costing us any money. This event is not something that we have to drag fields, line fields. We mow the place on a regular basis. We do have to clean up the trash. They work really well with us on that. Also, one of their electricians has already started rebuilding panels in the amphitheater lot. He's completed at least one of those and is working on another one now. He hopes to be able to complete all those and increase the electricity capabilities there for us.
Who provides security?
They provide security pretty much of their own. I mean, we have policemen come through the park, but it's not something like we have to bring extra security to the park.
Chief, sorry to put you on the spot with this question, and you can just give an estimated cost. How much does the city spend for security for on-duty or off-duty police officers for this event?
Basically, we,
Basically, Councilman, we just basically run our cars through, just try to make sure that the road stays open, that they see a presence there. We spend no actual dollars, unless we go and work for each other.
Okay. And
In the past, it's just been basically to keep the road open.
okay, and we clean it up. That's the only expense to the city, and
Yes.
the electricity that they use. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? We will so entertain a motion. If someone would like.
Make a motion to approve.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Anything else? Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Griffin.
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle.
Yes.
Councilmember Mann. Excuse me, Mann.
Yes.
Councilmember Sewell.
Yes.
Mayor Lambert.
Yes. Item D, discussion of Independence Day celebration.
We've talked about a lot of different things. The mayor would like to have 38 special. That's gonna run us probably.
We're supposed to say that.
That's probably gonna run us about $30,000. But in all sincerity, you've got, if we spend a lot of money to bring in a big band, and then we have to go down and we have to run it, we have to collect money and all this, what I'd rather see us do is put the majority of our money into our fireworks, because everybody wants to see big fireworks displays. Basically, I think that I'll need like $2,000 for a band and another band. In fact, the Beaters agreed today to play it. The Beaters draw a good crowd. We do a free concert. We bring people. We already know that they drew a good crowd at the Camp Jordan Jam. And then we go ahead and invite them back this year anyway, in the fall or the spring, and I think it'd be a good time. And they've agreed to do that. I also think we need to do the karaoke contest. It was very successful last year. And I'll talk to our sponsor that sponsored that, and they ran it, they handled it, they did it all as far as that goes. That would be my recommendation, and bringing a lot of food trucks.